The human brain, often hailed as the most complex creation in existence, is more than an organ. It's a living testament to the mysterious beauty of nature and to many the unmistakable craftsmanship of the divine. This vast interwoven network of neurons isn't just a silent observer. It's alive, adapting, evolving, constantly reshaping itself in response to the ever-unfolding story of our lives. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, defies the outdated belief that the brain becomes fixed after childhood. Instead, it reveals a deep truth, one that mirrors the endless mercy of God, the ability to change, to grow, to begin again. For centuries, sages, mystics, and prophets have seen the brain as more than biology. To them, it was the seat of the soul, the sacred bridge between the physical and the eternal. Romans 12:2 whispers this ancient truth: "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Could it be that the brain's shifting pathways are more than just chemical? Could they be channels, conduits for divine messages? If we are made in the image of the Creator, then perhaps the brain's endless potential for transformation is a reflection of God's own living, breathing, dynamic nature. As we walk through life, experiencing, learning, healing, our minds are being rewired, and maybe, just maybe, we are tuning in more closely to the frequency of heaven, to the gentle whispers of the divine. Across ancient texts, the Vedas, the Torah, the Quran, there's a shared rhythm, a call to renewal, transformation, and the relentless pursuit of wisdom. The brain's capacity to heal from trauma, to learn from mistakes, to form new patterns. It all feels deeply in tune with these spiritual currents. If we can reshape our thoughts, then surely we can reshape our connection to God. Like a radio adjusting its dial, the brain, through neuroplasticity, might just become the perfect receiver for celestial broadcasts. And here's where it gets even more profound. Our environment, our choices, our relationships, they sculpt the brain. Just as spiritual traditions urge us to seek light and avoid darkness, neuroscience tells us who and what we surround ourselves with matters. In both faith and science, the pursuit of love, wisdom, patience, these are the seeds of transformation. They don't just make us better humans, they mold our very wiring, and perhaps they guide us closer to the divine. Words, too, carry power. They build, they destroy, they heal. From the rise of empires to the shaping of a child's soul, words leave an imprint. Their emotional resonance shapes neural architecture, echoing through our minds and hearts long after they're spoken. John 1:1 reveals this eternal truth. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Across faith traditions, the sacredness of speech is clear. Words become prayers, declarations, portals to the divine. Spoken in love and kindness, words can open pathways in the brain, clearing static, tuning us to God's voice. But words laced with hatred, they close doors, dim the signal. So the way we speak to others, to ourselves, matters. It shapes not just our relationships, but our spiritual clarity. By choosing words of compassion and grace, we invite a resonance, a frequency that vibrates with love, with light, with God. But this extends beyond speech. Emotions, our inner weather, are equally important. The limbic system, our emotional brain, is constantly shifting. Moods rise and fall, joy, sorrow, anger, peace. All of it affects how we receive divine insight. A heart clouded by resentment may struggle to sense the sacred, but a heart at rest, even in chaos, can pick up the subtle signals of God's guidance. To tune in, we must calm the storms within. And when emotion meets word, the impact multiplies. Neuroscience confirms what Scripture has long taught. The tongue holds power, power to bless or to break. So before we speak in anger, it's worth remembering we are carving paths in our own brains. In those moments, turning to God can provide the restraint and the wisdom. As the psalmist pleaded, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight." This plea is as much neuroscience as it is prayer, because the brain, like the soul, is shaped by attention, by repetition, by choice. And here we arrive at one of the great laws of existence: cause and effect. Every action, every thought, every feeling leaves an imprint on the brain, on the spirit. This timeless law, echoed in every major religion, reminds us we are co-creators of our destiny. When we act in love, we change our brains. When we think with gratitude, we invite grace. Another law, the law of adaptation, shows us the brain's response to experience. Like the Proverbs say, "Walk with the wise and become wise." Who you spend time with changes you, literally. Neurons adjust, synapses strengthen. All these laws, cause and effect, adaptation, choice, the diversion, paint a picture of our journey, both neural and spiritual. The brain, with all its complexity, is more than matter. It is mystery, design, because maybe, just maybe, God has been speaking all along. The question is, are we tuned in enough to hear?